The adventure continues. We're making our way to the western part of upstate New York, this season's final destination. But before that, we're going to spend a little time here at the northwestern corner of the Keystone State, Erie, Pennsylvania. We're going to explore Presque State Park and even go for a cruise on a sailboat. All that and more coming up next.
I'm riding with my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah.
Have I ever told you how much I dislike breaking camp when it is raining? It's a mess, and luckily here is gravel, but when it is sand, it's nasty. Nasty weather. Let's just hope that it improves as we approach Pennsylvania, although it does look like we're gonna be chasing this storm because we're going east, same direction as the storm. Let's hope we didn't forget anything there. So today we say goodbye to Ohio and hello to Pennsylvania.
Sometimes when the weather doesn't cooperate, you just have to push hard and punch through that storm. And we are now in Pennsylvania. Let's go into town, and there it is, Lake Erie. Several people have recommended this place called Sara's. It is very casual, and they have hot dogs, burgers, milkshakes. We opted for the hot dogs. Yeah, it is one of those places, a fun American diner, and they've been around since 1980. Let's go into Presque State Park, which is this long and narrow peninsula separating Presque Bay from the rest of Lake Erie. It is most famous for its beaches, but there are also lakes and lighthouses, and they have concerts, all kinds of fun stuff. Let's stop here really quick and take in the view. There it is. That would be downtown Erie, Pennsylvania. Not the prettiest day here weather-wise, but we'll take it. It could be a lot worse, right? Let's continue driving around the park. Let's see what else there is besides the beaches. Oh, there's a Perry monument here too. In 2019, we saw the large one they have at Put-in Bay, and let me tell you the story. Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry defeated the British right there at Put-in Bay in what is known as the Battle of Lake Erie during the War of 1812. Take a look at all these houseboats, and this here is called Horseshoe Pond. We're almost at the very southeast end of the peninsula. Apparently, there are 24 of these here at Horseshoe Pond. That would be so cool, right? To spend a few days in one of these. Next, let's stop by the Channel Lighthouse. Oh, cool, sailboat. And that is the Channel Lighthouse. And I'm going to find out about that sailboat because that could be something cool to do tomorrow.
Very cool, very picturesque. The lighthouse back there and that sailboat.
I'm fascinated by all these houseboats. Can you tell? Here's Presque Beach, and here's the Presque Lighthouse, and I believe this one you can visit and climb all the way to the top. I want to take a minute to thank Magic Spoon for sponsoring this episode. Cereal reinvented, actually, and I just got a box on the mail, so let me show you. They have 8 different flavors, and you get to build your own box with your 4 favorites. The main thing to note here is 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of proteins, only 4 to 5 net grams of carbs, and only 140 calories in each serving. And it also checks all the other important boxes, being keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free. And they actually taste good. So they have this 100% happiness guarantee, so if you by any chance don't like it, they will refund your money, no questions asked. I feel like a child again. You can click on my link to get $5 off your first order and let me know which flavors you're gonna try. They're all really good, but this is my favorite. Epic fail. They closed at 4:40 and it is 4:45, so we missed it for 5 minutes. We'll be back tomorrow. Well, at least we get to take a look at this beach, and it seems nice. Too bad we forgot our bathing suits. Oh, check out all the birds. And here's Erie Waterworks Lighthouse, which was never a lighthouse at all, I later found out. Nice view of Erie back there. The steel building was only made to look like a lighthouse, and what it used to do, it used to house the gears for an emergency intake pump in order to provide water to the city. Well, that was really cool. I definitely have a thing for lighthouses. And maybe tomorrow we'll go to the top of the other one. We're gonna continue exploring today. It's kind of like an exploration day, like a rough exploration, and then tomorrow we'll go more in depth. First we have to kind of get the lay of the land, and that's what we're doing. Let's go back to the mainland. Very nice waterfront homes here on South Shore Drive, and according to Zillow, in the $1 million range, maybe even more. We want to find out about the sailboat, and apparently the US brig Niagara, that's the large ship, it is not sailing at the moment. The one we saw is schooner Letty G. Howard, and we're gonna try and book a cruise for tomorrow. The Bicentennial Tower here is also something we can do, but we'll come back tomorrow. The weather forecast calls for rain all day, but that will not stop us from exploring and enjoying. What is this to the left? It is called Shaffer's Auto Art. Good morning, everybody. It's gonna be one of those days that it's gonna be raining most of the day, but this showed up in one of the guides, and it's a sculpture, a garden made out of automotive parts, the whole thing. So I mean, even the mailbox, look at that. That's what's that called? The name escapes me right now, whatever is inside of the engine, but let me show you right here real quick. Look at that. That's an old engine fan. This is really cool. It's a rocket, and these are all an old carburetor, an old V8 there. Let's see what this is. It's really cool. The teeth are spark plugs, and I don't know exactly what all the parts are, but it's very creative. Apparently this one is called Automan. Very funny. We have a cannon.
Oh, those are bowling balls. And here we have an old Volkswagen Beetle. It's like a huge spider. We have some old vehicles. There's a motorcycle there on top of that. You know, this is one of those quirky things you find on the side of the road. And it's gonna be nasty pretty much all day, but we're just gonna wear the umbrella and do as much as possible here in Erie, Pennsylvania. We should have done all this yesterday, but you know, timing is everything. Let's continue. This was really cool.
Let's go back to Presque State Park. And now the sun wants to come out. This is really crazy weather.
It's gonna be pretty much an umbrella day all day, so I see everybody with raincoats. Let's go see the lighthouse. It is open now. Okay, so they have like an assigned time, and we got tickets for about 20 minutes from now, so we're just gonna walk around and see if there's anything else to see.
We were going to go see the beach, but there's construction going on, so there's a small museum inside that we can see while we wait for our turn to climb to the top. Oh, the Fresnel lens. And here we have the 3 lighthouses. This is where we are. This metal building is the oil house, where they used to store all the flammable fuels used in the lighthouse lamps. I believe it is our turn. Up and up we go.
The highlight of the tour, you know, just so you know.
Yeah. Let's see.
See the reflection of the prisms in the glass, and you can also see them in each ring.
It doesn't turn red anymore, red and white.
It does not.
They don't have a pattern anymore.
Nope, it's just a white blinking light in the middle.
What designates it from all the others since it doesn't have the red on it?
Each lighthouse has a unique characteristic on its own. So our lighthouse is 3 seconds on, 3 seconds off.
Okay.
Other lighthouses might be 1 second, 5 seconds. They might be colored. They might be a steady on and not flashing. But each one is different. And the Coast Guard has a listing of all those differences, which they publish. So the captains of the ships will know where they're at just by looking at the pattern of the light or by looking at the color of the tower, which is called the daylight.
Made in New Zealand. That's pretty cool. Okay, this first. Sorry, step ladder. So yeah, you can see that light all the way halfway across the lake. More or less the halfway point to Canada. And apparently, the lightkeeper's job was, all night, every couple hours, come up here, change the lantern, the kerosene lantern, and that lasted all throughout the shipping season. Yeah, totally worth it. Now let's continue.
Let's go back into town and see if we can get on that sailboat. This is like an old paddle wheel boat, but this is not it.
The Victorian Princess. Well, let's see the sailboat.
Maybe next time. It's a beautiful ship.
We're getting on a sailboat.
Yeah, our boat is definitely cooler than that one. It is an 1893 wooden Fredonia schooner. Not to mention it's also a National Historic Landmark.
How far off? Yeah.
Alright, this is so cool.
As soon as we get some distance from the shore, we're allowed to walk around the boat. Looks like they are preparing to raise the sails, with the help of some of us. Not me, I'm just holding the camera. Yeah, sailboats are so cool, but it feels like a lot of work. Now, when the sails are up and you get a nice breeze, it kind of feels like it was worth all the effort, even though I was just filming.
Stern go that way, the bow go that way, bringing us into the wind. The sails are gonna start flopping around now.
We're getting a crash course of sorts on sailing.
We're doing everything you want us to do. Alright. Yeah, we're still on board.
It is incredible that you can almost be sailing into the wind. Seems almost counterintuitive. And then as you turn straight into the wind, the sail will begin flapping and eventually catch on the other side. It's really fascinating. You can almost sail in any direction, no matter where the wind is coming from, except from straight into the wind. In which case, you go 45 degrees to port, 45 degrees to starboard, back and forth, in a maneuver called tacking. That's the way I understand it anyways, but as I said, fascinating.
You seem to know what you were talking about. You must be the captain. So at this point, this is the dead space?
Yeah, probably no sail zone or, yeah. Starts picking up speed a little bit, the rudder will come into play, and I'll be able to get more on the wind again.
Where's the Niagara?
At the Erie Maritime Museum.
I was really hoping we would go out into the lake, but I guess not today. Too windy, perhaps? And there's that Waterworks fake lighthouse. And just like that, our navigation comes to an end. Let me tell you, that was a lot of fun. It is always more fun in the water. Now we've seen two of the lighthouses, if we don't count the water tower. Now let's go see the third one, which is called Erie Land Lighthouse, and it is in the middle of this residential area on top of a bluff. It is closed, but I don't see any restrictions, so let's fly around a little bit. We can clearly see Presque in the distance and the Channel Lighthouse. It is so great to see it from this perspective. Here's looking west towards the bay, and you can see how narrow the peninsula really is. The name coming from the French, meaning almost an island. The current tower here only dates back to 1867, but the original one, dating back to 1818, was located a lot closer to the bluff's edge, so it started sinking. But when it commenced operations along with the Buffalo Lighthouse, they were considered the first American lighthouses built on the Great Lakes. It is a beautiful area up on this bluff. Now let's go get something to eat. And a couple who are viewers and are actually coming later to visit, they recommended this place as a potential meetup place. It is located inside an old railroad station, and if you know me by now, you know it's gonna be a brewery, right? And it's called just that, the Brewerie at Union Station. Let's park. Actually, I just noticed, very nice play on words. It is spelled Brewerie. Get it? As in Erie, Pennsylvania?
It's a Hopness Monster IPA. Cheers.
Apparently, the old Union Station had a barber shop, and this used to be it. I like how they have repurposed the space, still keeping some elements from the past.
It's a cool old radio right there. This one too. That one is cooler.
And our food has arrived. And yeah, it was totally bar food, but we were really hungry. Service was sluggish, but she was very pleasant and even told us about this beer garden upstairs at the old platform where you can still see the old railroad tracks. And this is pretty much it for Erie, Pennsylvania. Later in the day, Tom and Kathy came all the way from Pittsburgh and invited us to eat at Underdog Barbecue. It was great conversation, and they gave us a ton of recommendations. And they brought us chocolates.
Turn left toward West Road, then turn right onto West Road.
Well, Erie, Pennsylvania, very nice.
That's when the camera died. We're getting some traffic here getting out of Erie, Pennsylvania. Today we're going into New York. No, not New York City. We'll do that insanely crazy thing later this year. Much later, but right now we're going to continue hugging the southern shore of Lake Erie towards Westfield.
Barcelona. This town is called Barcelona.
Well, actually, Barcelona is technically the harbor and the lighthouse. The town itself is Westfield.
Cool small town. We're probably gonna have lunch somewhere, and then we have the live stream. And isn't this like the cutest Class C? It's like van-based, antique, very, very nice. So, yeah, let's look for somewhere to eat.
We went into a shop and they recommended this Italian place called Bark Grill.
Well, we're gonna get started with some wine because we're in an Italian restaurant with the Chianti.
And the food looks and tastes amazing.
Wow, that was truly great, and this place, it looks like it's been here for like since, I don't know, the 60s. I don't know, the decoration is like really vintage. Very satisfied. Now let's go do our customary live stream,
And we're going to end our day here at the Barcelona Harbor, enjoying the scenery, and it doesn't look promising, but maybe catch a glimpse of the sunset. And that's a pretty nice swimming beach with all these bluffs here on Lake Erie. And that's the Barcelona Lighthouse. Not the most spectacular sunset, but we'll take it.
I don't know, should I or should I not? I was gonna taste the water, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's warm, actually. I should have brought my bathing suit.
Well, tomorrow will be another day. Good morning, and what a beautiful day it is! Before we continue the journey north, yes, that's where we're going, several people have recommended we try the fish dip from this place called Westfield Fisheries. And I'm just gonna say, being from Florida, we're kind of spoiled when it comes to smoked fish dip, but we'll give this a try. And when we're towing the trailer, parking is always a challenge, but I'm just gonna stand here for a minute. We should be fine.
Well, we stopped here at Westfield Fisheries because they're famous for their white smoked fish dip. So we're gonna have it for breakfast now in a few. Yeah, this is our narrow passageway here. Just hopefully, yeah. I'll just put it up here. There.
Gas prices in New York State, not the highest in the nation, but they're up there in price. So I'm going to share a tip from Thomas, who we met in Erie, and he suggested we get off the interstate and fill up at the Seneca Nation truck stop.
Thank you, Thomas, for the tip about the Seneca Nation gas station here. Almost 60 cents cheaper than the regular gas station on the interstate. I'm gonna park and eat that fish dip now. We've got some Mission tortillas, tomatoes from Ohio that someone gave us at the meetup, and the fish dip from Barcelona, New York. So let's dig in. Now, this is gonna be messy, but I'm sure it's gonna be good.
And this is it, the beginning of the end of the summer 2021 season. Over the next week or so, we're going to be zigzagging our way through this area of upstate New York, but more about that on the next episode. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road.
wherever I want to be. And 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah, I'm riding, riding, riding. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be. 'Cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.